Good morning, everyone. This is Kevin Cahill from the Irish American Club of Berkshire County, and I join you this morning from the beautiful studios of 89.7 WTBR-FM Pittsfield Community Radio. This is a special edition of the Sunday Sounds of Ireland, our St. Patrick's Day celebration edition, so you're going to hear a lot of classics. Whiskey in the Jar, The Last Rose of Summer, Rock On Rock All from the Wolf Tones, the Black Velvet Band by the Dubliners. I hope you enjoy today's show very much, and we're going to start off with Thin Lizzy.
ocean, and some men like a violin, and some men like to hear a cannonball rolling. But me, I like sleeping, especially in my mindless chamber. But here I am in prison, here I am with a ball and chain, yeah. Much a ring, gumma do, gumma die. Wait for my daddy-o, wait for my daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar, and I got drunk on whiskey-o. And I love, I love, I love, I love, I love, I love, I love. And she will never to that old dirty town, that dirty old town.
If you listen, I'll sing you a sweet little song of a flower that's now drooped and dead. Yet dearer to me, yes, than all of its mates, though each holds aloft its proud head. 'Twas given to me by a girl that I know. Since we've met, faith, I've known no repose. 'Tis dearer by far than the world's brightest star, and I call her my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. You may search everywhere, but none can compare with my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows. And someday for my sake, she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose. They may sing of their roses, which by other names would smell just as sweetly, they say. But I know that my rose would never consent to have that sweet name taken away. Her glances are shy whene'er I pass by the bower where my true love reposes. And my one wish has been that someday I may win the heart of my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. You may search everywhere, but none can compare with my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows. And someday for my sake,
That was a group called the Guinness Choir. I have no idea who the Guinness Choir is or where they come from, but they're included in a set of CDs that I received in the mail about a month ago. The name of that tune, The Last Rose of Summer. And from the same set of CDs that I received, I got My Wild Irish Rose from John McCormick. And of course, we started off the set with Thin Lizzy, the very best of Thin Lizzy from the album, and that is Whiskey in the Jar, a great song, a great rendition of that song. You know, talking about St. Patrick, every event I've been to, the vast majority of events, and I've been to many, on St. Patrick's Day and other times, one of the speakers inevitably will announce that St. Patrick wasn't even born in Ireland. The problem with the question is, of course, is that the concept of Ireland or being Irish nationality, didn't even exist in 4th century Europe, let alone 4th century Ireland, and certainly didn't exist even among the Irish aristocracy then or since. St. Patrick was born in Anglo-Roman in what is now called England, but at the time was probably called something else. And he was his grandfather was a priest, his father was a deacon, and his mother also had some official role in the establishment of the civitas back in Roman Britain. So it's immaterial whether or not St. Patrick was born in Ireland, because that's where he spent his life, obviously, and that's where he devoted his energies to the Irish people. So that's my say on that. And now we're going to hear from Ye Vagabonds.
When I was a bachelor, young and bold, I followed a roving trade. The only thing that I ever done wrong, I courted a handsome maid. I wooed her all the summertime and part of the winter too. The only harm that ever I done was to keep off the foggy dew. 'Twas all one night about 12 o'clock as I lay fast asleep. There came this maid to my bedside, and bitterly she did weep. She wept, she moaned, she tore her hair, and she cried, what shall I do? So I rolled her into bed, and I covered up her head for to keep off the foggy dew. Fired all that night, how we did sport and play, and all the latter part of that night, snug in my arms she lay. And when the broad daylight appeared, she cried, I am undone. Well, hold your tongue, my pretty young girl, for the foggy dew has gone. oftentimes that I think on that night that I kept off the foggy dew.
Rosalie, Rosalie,
I can see my Rosaline with the shamrocks growing green around her. On the day that I found her, where the river Shannon flows, all the southern belles I've seen are combined in Rosaline, who greets me with a smile when she meets me, where the river Shannon flows. When I say, won't you all kiss me, honey, she replies, darling, sure you're a rogue,
she says.
When we whisper, I love you, it sounds so funny. With my southern accent and her Irish brogue. When I marry this Colleen, then I'll take my Rosaline from Ireland, and I'll bring her to my land, where the Swanee River flows.
I say, won't you all be a dilly and kiss me, my honey?
She replied, sure it yourself that's becoming a bit of a rogue.
When we whisper together, I love you, I bet we sound funny.
With my broad southern accent and her darling bit of a brogue.
When I marry this Colleen,
then I'll take my Rosaline from Ireland, and I'll take her to my land, where the Swanee River flows. Rosalie. take you home again, Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been, since first you were my bonny bride. The roses all have left your cheek. I've watched them fade away and die. Your voice is sad whene'er you speak, and tears bedim your loving eyes. Oh, I will take you back, Kathleen, to where your heart will feel no pain. And when the fields are fresh and green, I'll take you to your home again.
Two songs up there by Bing Crosby from his album Top of the Morning. We heard Rosaline first, and just now you heard I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen, both classics. And in between there, you heard two reels, Not Gonna Go, which is the first reel I ever heard in my entire life, and a second reel called The Fowling Piece, both played for you by the Ballinakil Cayley Band. Now, a little bit more about the life of St. Patrick. According to his confession, at the age of 16, which is a document, one of the two documents that we have extant from him, at the age of 16, he was captured by a group of Irish pirates. They took him to Ireland, where he was enslaved and held captive for years. Patrick writes in the confession that the time he spent in captivity was critical to his spiritual development. He explains that the Lord had mercy on his youth and ignorance and afforded him the opportunity to be forgiven his sins and convert to Christianity. While in captivity, he worked as a shepherd and strengthened his relationship with God through prayer, eventually leading him to convert to Christianity. After 6 years of captivity, he heard a voice telling him that he would soon go home and that his ship was ready. He fled his master. He traveled to a port 200 miles away, where he found a ship and with difficulty persuaded the captain to take him. After 3 days sailing, they landed, presumably in Britain, and apparently all left the ship, walking for 28 days in, quote, a wilderness, becoming faint with hunger. After Patrick prayed for sustenance, they encountered a herd of wild boar. Since this was shortly after Patrick had urged them to put their faith in God, his prestige in the group was greatly increased. After various adventures, he returned home to his family, now in his early 20s. After returning home to Britain, Patrick continued to study Christianity. The only comment I'm going to make on that is the nature of these confessions, these autobiographies written by anybody really in 4th and 5th century Europe. They were under no obligation to be factual. So now we're going to listen to... here we are. We're going to be listening to Celtic Thunder.
in Banbridge town in the county down one morning last July. By a mowing green met a sweet Colleen, she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. As she on the sped, sure I scratched me head and I looked with a feeling rare. And I said, says I, to a passerby, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? He smiled at me and he said, says he, she's the gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's a star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down.
Bit, but was never smit since my roving career began. But fair and square had surrendered there to the charms of Rosie McCann. I'd a heart to let on her tenangiat had I met in a shawl or gown. But in she went and I asked no rent from the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. At the harvest fair she'll be surely there, and I'll dress in me Sunday clothes, with me shoes shone bright and me hat tucked right for a smile from me nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, till me plough was a rust-coloured brown. Till a smiling bride by me own fireside is the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down.
Of London, I met an old man. He kept a bar called the Horses and Tram. My parents were Irish, they loved that dear land. The Cockney, he smiled and he shook my old hand. My heart is in Ireland, it's there I long to be. Her hills and her valleys are calling to me. Though born here in this land, my heart is in Ireland. The land of the old folk is calling to me. Near a coal mine in Wales, by a roadside cafe, a young girl came smiling and to me did say, well, my folks are from Ireland. Me dad, he hopes one day when he leaves the mines, sure we'll go back to stay. My heart is in Ireland, it's there I long to be. Her hills and her valleys are calling to me. Though born here in this land, my heart is in Ireland. The land of the old folk is calling to me. Then I went through the Midlands, through each city and town. I found there were Irish in each place I roamed, and I drank and I sang in a pub they call the Crown. With the Birmingham Irish, we sang songs of home. My heart is in Ireland, it's there I long to be. Her Then I went north to Scotland, to Glasgow on the Clyde. I met with some young lads, said Celtic's our side. All our folks are from Ireland, the island of the green. That country we love, but a place we've not seen. My heart is in Ireland, it's there I long to be. Her hills and her valleys are calling to me. Though born here in this land, my heart is in Ireland. The land of the old folk is calling to me.
And his cheeks were all aglow. I bear orders from the captain, get you ready quick and soon. For the pikes must be together at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. For the pikes must be together at the rising of the moon. And come tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. At the old spot by the river, quite well known to you and me. One more word for signal token, whistle out the marching tune. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. Out from many a mud-walled cabin, eyes were watching through the night. Many a manly heart was beating for the blessed morning light. Murmurs rang along the valley to the banshee's lonely croon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. And 1,000 lights were flashing by the rising of the moon. All along that singing river, that black mass of men was seen. High above their shining weapons flew their own beloved green. Death to every foe and traitor, whistle out the marching tune. And hurrah, me boys, for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon. And hurrah, me boys, for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon.
That was the Dubliners with The Rising of the Moon. And before that, you heard My Heart is in Ireland from the Wolf Tones, their 25th anniversary album. And before that, you heard from the Celtic Thunder, which we don't hear from very often, with their version of The Star of County Down. So last we spoke about St. Patrick, we talked about his confession and his story of the abduction and slavery and discovery of Christianity in Ireland. An alternative story has emerged from an historian most recently, and it states that Patrick's departure to Ireland suggests that as the son of a decurion, he would have been obliged by Roman law to serve on the town council, but chose instead to abscond from onerous obligations of this office by fleeing abroad, as many others in this position had done in the past, what was becoming known as the flight of the curials. And this is indeed a well-known phenomenon, even though Ireland was never Romanized in the sense that the rest of Europe and Britain were Romanized. Many Roman exiles lived in Ireland, either fleeing the taxes or their civic responsibility. This historian also asserts that the improbability of an escape from servitude and journey of the kind that St. Patrick purports to have undertaken. He also draws attention to the biblical allusions in Patrick's account, the theme of freedom after 6 years of servitude in Exodus and in Jeremiah, which imply that perhaps part of this account may not have been intended to be understood literally. And now we're going to hear from the Dubliners.
Tears and grief as well as an after leave the car. Leave where I was born, I cut the stuff, I turned the bandage, skulls and gobbled in a new pair of brogues. Wrapped another the bog, frightened all the ducks of the rocky road. The doubled in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once ahead, a son or some on the rocky road. All the way to trouble and one for la-dee-da. In Mullingar that night, a resting level where he started by the light with bells of bright, and there he took a drop of the pure to keep his fellas from sinking. That's the paddy's cure whenever his double was thinking to see the lasses spoil, laughing all the while. At me curious child would set your hand up open and asked if I was hired. Wages I required till I was almost out of the rocky road. And the double and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once ahead, a tunner's down the rocky road. All the way to double and what for la-dee-da. And double and next arrived and thought it was a pity to be in society prime. The view of that fine city was that, and I took control. All among the quality bundle it was all on energy. Took on a day something grabbed me mind, and I looked behind, I wonder could I find upon me stick a warren and fire, and after the road said to me gone to grove, and much in over the rocky road. The double and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once ahead, a turner down the rocky road, all the way to trouble. I soon got over that a bit better than I was bad, and landed on the king, and the ship was sailing, captain at the road. Saw the Norabody when I jumped aboard, I coming down for Paddy. Going among the pigs, I made some roundy rigs, and then some hardy jiggers of water. A rowdy woman that went off all the head. Wished me self was dead, or better falling still on the rocky road. To double and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once there, I turned her down the rocky road, all the way to double and one for la-dee-da. The boys of never fail, and I went away sailing, I had to call myself a fool. I could go along, and I had to know they began to boil. There for I was the good and double all in the boil. They began to bugle around me, boys, as I and Shillelagh I let go. All the boy were by, and I went up doubling with the lower derry. Join me in the affray, quickly clear the way for the rocky road. The double and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once there, I turned her down the rocky road, all the way to double and rock for la-dee-da.
I met my love by the gasworks wall. Dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the moon. Cats are prowling on their beat. Springs a girl from the streets at night. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I heard a siren from the docks. Saw a train set the night on fire. I smelled the spring on the smoky wind. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I'm gonna make me a picture back, shining steel, tempered in the fire. I'll chop you down like an old dead tree. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I met my love by the gasworks wall. Dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town.
Summer's gone and all the roses dying. It's you must go and I must buy. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Would any boy, I love you so. You come and all the flowers are dying. If I am dead, as dead I may be, well, maybe you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear the soft you tread above me, and all my breath shall warmer, sweeter be, for you will bear and tell me shall sleep in peace until you come to
The Irish tenors there with Danny Boy. I think in the many years I've been doing this show, that is the first time I've played that song. And before that, you heard from the Pogues again with A Dirty Old Town. I like that version of the song. And you also heard from the Dubliners for the second time with their version of Rocky Road to Dublin, one of the oldest songs in the Irish repertoire, by the way. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what the Irish Club's plans are for an Irish celebration. We are obviously not having a huge gathering again this year, Elf the Elves Club, but we are planning to organize something for August where we will have an Irish celebration and be able to honor the Irish Person of the Year for the year 2020 as opposed to 2021. So look forward to more information about that. An Irish celebration in August at the Elks Club on Union Street in Pittsfield. More information will be forthcoming. And now we're going to hear from Van Morrison.
I wish I had you in Carrickfergus, only 4 nights in Ballygrand. I would swim over the deepest ocean, to be by your side. But the sea is wide, and I can't swim over, and neither have I wings to fly. Oh, I wish I could find me a handy boatman to ferry me over to my love and die. My childhood days bring back sad reflection to happy times spent so long ago. My boyhood friends and my own relations have all passed on like the melting snow. But I'll spend my days in endless roaming. Soft as the grass, and my bed is free. Oh, to be home now in Carrickfergus, on the long road down to the salty sea, and in Kilkenny it is reported on marble stones as black as ink, with gold and silver. I did support her, but I'll sing no more till I get a drink. and I'm really sober. A handsome rover from town to town. Oh, but I am sick, and my days are numbered. So come all ye young men and lay me down.
There was a wild colonial boy, Jack Duggan was his name. He was born and reared in Ireland, boys, in a place called Castlemaine. He was his father's only son, his mother's pride and joy, and dearly did his parents love the wild colonial boy. At the early age of 16 years, he left his native home, and to Australia's sunny shores he was inclined to roam. He wronged the rich, he helped the poor, he shot James McAvoy. A terror to Australia was the wild colonial boy. We'll roam the mountains and the glens, and we'll ride across the plains. We scorn to live in slavery, bound down by iron chains. One morning on the prairie, as Jackie rode along, while listening to the mockingbird singing a cheerful song, up jumped a band of troopers, Kelly Davis and Fitzroy. They all set out to capture him, the wild colonial boy. Surrender now, Jack Duggan, for you see we're 3-1. Surrender in the king's high name, you are a plundering son. Jack drew 2 pistols from his belt and proudly waved them high. I'll fight, but not surrender, cried the wild colonial boy. We'll roam the mountains and the glens, and we'll ride across the plains. We scorn to live in slavery, bound down by iron chains. He fired a shot at Kelly, which brought him to the ground, and he fired point blank at Davis, who fell dead at the sound. A bullet pierced his proud young heart from the pistol of Fitzroy, and that was how they captured him, the wild colonial boy. We'll roam the mountains and the glens, and we'll ride across the plains. We scorn to live in slavery, bound down by iron chains.
That was the Irish Rovers with Wild Colonial Boy, and before that you heard Carrick Fergus, Van Morrison, and the Chieftains. WTBR is planning a special event this St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday, March 17th. They will be playing old and new versions of the Sunday Sounds of Ireland from 10 a.m. until, I think, 3 p.m. So by all means, tune in to 89.7 and listen to a lot of Irish music. Please listen on Wednesday, and please listen to our show again next week. And please listen to all the locally produced programming here at 89.7 WTBR-FM, Pittsfield Community Radio. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Guram Ugach Ugashjahi Shahugan.